I think the only correlation would be the contract disputes where the club are kind of saying, which I don't think is right, that they haven't had the chance to negotiate with Rudiger and Christensen and tie them down when actually they could have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's relatable. I think Chelsea have just found themselves in a bit of a call it a middle ground where they've got the cup final coming up to look forward to. They're not going to fall out the top four. They're not going to catch the top two. So it creates this little bit of a comfort zone that the players play in, which shouldn't be there because actually you should be playing for your place in the cup final, really.
But are they? I mean, when we say underperforming, I mean we have to look at this in the rounds and say, okay,
they're still miles better.
You beat Southampton 6-0. You destroyed Madrid in the second leg of the semi-final.
Should have went
very, very unlucky not to go through. You snuffed out a very threatening Crystal Palace in terms of form in the FA Cup semi-final. You've drawn with Manchester United and you've had 2 results and you've beaten West Ham.
Should have beaten Man U, by the way.
You should have beaten Man United. So you've had 2 bad results in there.
They're underperforming. 2 wins in their last 5.
They're underperforming compared to being, if you're comparing...
By their standards.
If you compare it to City...
They're third in the league. So,
by your standards, you said Chelsea would win it.
Yeah, but that's long gone now. We've had that discussion. We've pulled the bones out of that one. We understand where we are with that. But when we're saying we're going to micromanage it, what are we talking about? You've beaten Real Madrid in a quarterfinals of the Champions League and you were very unlucky not to go through. You thrashed Southampton 6-0. You've beaten Palace in an FA Cup semi-final, which was considered to be a dangerous game. You've beaten West Ham.
You lost 4-2 to Arsenal at home.
So they've lost 2 games out of the last 6.
They've been unusually erratic.
2 wins in the last 5.
They've been unusually erratic.
That's not Chelsea standard.
No, but what we're comparing them to is super solid win in the Champions League the end of last season and the first 3 months of the season where they were competing and they were up there. So he set his own bar high when he come in early and had this wonderful run. So we are comparing them to something, but
they've fallen away.
But
they could beat 4-1 by Brentford.
They're still in
at home. That's the result.
They're
but
still in
that's not in the last 6 games.
They are still in an FA Cup final and third place in the league. But what you have to understand for Chelsea at the moment is that that's not good enough for them. Irrelevant of what else is going on.
Absolutely.
And it won't be good enough for whichever new owner.
Yeah, but on you, but okay, let's.
What, are you giving them a pass?
No,
Simon?
I'm not giving them a pass. I'm trying to give it some context. This Chelsea side, given what we've seen and what we know now, rather than what we thought at the beginning of the season, are they better than Man City and are they better than Liverpool? So if the answer is no, and they finish 3rd in the league, and they get to an FA Cup final and they potentially win that, they get to a League Cup final and they lose out on penalties, they win World Club Championships. Which part of this underperforming season...
They could be eclipsed by Arsenal, who are 3 points behind them this
morning. And my aunt could be my uncle, but the likelihood is they aren't going to get eclipsed by Arsenal. So they're likely to finish 3rd. You think they're going to finish 3rd. I think they're going to finish 3rd. With the advent of what we've seen in this season, which was the biggest disappointment, was Lukaku, that was brought in to kick them on, right? And he did everything but kick them on.
Of course.
So with all that in mind, which part of this season do we think really, when we look at it properly and objectively, Chelsea have underachieved him?
They're underachieving at the moment. Of that, there is no doubt.
They're underachieving.
They go to Goodison yesterday and did precisely.
They're underachieving for their own expectation. Never mind anybody else's. But
so when Man City lose to Crystal Palace or they draw at Crystal Palace, are they underachieving for that moment in time?
Simon, you said whoever finishes above Chelsea will win the league.
But you can't keep reciting that. That's 9 months ago.
Doesn't matter.
And the world
2 of them are well ahead of them.
But we agree that with the context of what Liverpool and what Man City are doing, that we've based our decisions based upon a commendable first 6 months of Thomas Tuchel's management. They won a Champions League against what arguably was a badly set up Manchester City side in that game that played Chelsea's game. So we expected Chelsea then to follow on with Lukaku. And I absolutely was in the camp of saying anyone that finishes in front of Chelsea wins a league. Yeah. Okay, well, 2 teams in front of Chelsea and they've won the league.
But the fact of the matter is, here we are in May, and Chelsea are currently 17 points behind City. They have blown them out of the water, City.
Our expectation...
Chelsea are nowhere.
Jim, other people's expectation is... Chelsea's expectation at the beginning of the season, without any question, would have been to compete for the Premier League, at least somewhere near the end of the season. Be competitive.
Absolutely.
And to at least get to the last 4 of the Champions League. That would have been a minimum in his own head with the squad he had and the investment in Lukaku, which hasn't gone well. So... And even win some domestic silverware. They haven't done any of that yet, so they are underachieving for their own expectation, I would imagine. There's no way Thomas Tuchel in the cold light of day would not say he would have expected more from this season. But it's still not the end of the world. They've still got some terrific players. They've got a couple of conundrums they have to sort out for next season, which I'm sure he will. They've got new owners coming in and are very wealthy, and I still think they're miles ahead. I know you say 3 points from Arsenal, but they're better than Arsenal, Tottenham and Man U by a fair way. irrelevant at the points tally. And if they do win the FA Cup, it's still not
I think the tragedy of the observation is that nobody expected, I didn't, and maybe you did, I didn't expect the level of Manchester City and Liverpool to be of such heights that I don't think even if Chelsea had been on full throttle, I think they'd have had trouble keeping up with them.
Yeah.
The disappointment was getting knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid. Right?
Yeah.
But they would have gotten beaten by Liverpool or Man City in a semi-final.
No, I think that's a fair point. Certainly on masterclass from City and Liverpool. Simon, this Monday morning, we now know that Todd Boehly is close to winning the race to buy Chelsea. Having said that, you would notice late on Friday night, Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in, £4.25 billion bid. Why would Ratcliffe leave it so late to come in at that stage?
No idea. Being a disruptor, his bid's the lowest bid. He hasn't bid what the other guys have bid. The other guys have bid nearer to $3 billion. So he's bid the $2.5 million, which was supposedly the price that people were having to get to, and he's bid a future commitment of $1.75 billion, a future commitment, which I'm suspecting the other guys will spend just as much as he will be forced to spend. If they're going to develop the stadium, which I suspect they're all going to, they're all going to be in the same place. He's had ample time to be in a situation where he could have done this. Now, whatever's prompted him behind that, I mean, you've also got to look at the Todd Boehly bid, when the makeup of that bid and who's involved in that. And there's some very interesting people, even people that are not financially well-heeled, but people that are intellectually well-heeled, like Danny Finkelstein and people like that are making up this board. It's going to be Todd Boehly and his gang. Those are the guys that are going to come out of it. I mean, Jim Ratcliffe, when he gets involved in sport, it's not always the greatest success. He wasn't the greatest success with Ben Ainsley over the America's Cup.
Yeah.
But the man has significant wealth. He's a Manchester United fan. Not that influences who you can and can't own. But, you know, if he wanted to be involved in this process, he could have been involved at some point. He probably didn't want to be at the table having a bidding auction with other people. But this bid that is being dressed up as $4.25 billion, what you spend in the future has got nothing to do with what you buy this football club for. There are two things. There's a price you've got to pay somebody to own this business, right? What you're projecting to spend in the future, well, that's for the birds, right? What you've got to pay somebody to get it is north of, ridiculously, north of $2.5
Simon,
billion.
if I said to you at the start of this bidding process, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's about to come in late on with $4.25 billion.
It's not $4.25 billion. Stop keep advancing that.
And then he doesn't get it.
But you're not advancing the right argument. He's bidding $2.5 billion, and he's telling you he's going to commit to the going concern that is Chelsea, which is a business that he wants to be successful. Another $1.75 billion over what period of time? 10 years? 20 years? If it's 10 years, it's 107. Chelsea spend that anyway. And these guys that are coming in are going to pay $3 billion for it.
$4.25 billion bid.
No, it's not a $4.25 billion bid. If I buy something from you, if I buy your house from you for 300 grand, what have I bid you?
300 grand.
So if I spend another 200 grand on it, what's it got to do with you?
Nothing.
Right, so it's a $2.5 billion bid.
It's trying to appeal to the fans, basically.
Can you give
me clarity? How I've heard you talk about this before, but I still don't I can't grasp how whoever gets it for $3.5 billion, $4 billion, whatever it is, then how are they going to make that money back?
Because they're going to do a variety of things. First of all, it's not them. If you look at the makeup of these bids, it's not their money. It's laid off money, so it's going to have a cost implication against the return. They are all banking on the bigger picture, which is these digital rights for football are going to keep on going. There is going to be the things that I have said in the past. There is going to be a Netflix of football, and there's going to be a European Super League of some shape or description. And the $2.8 billion that's currently $2.9 billion, $3 billion that's developed inside broadcasting deals is going to be dwarfed. Right. So eventually these franchises that they're buying, because these people are buying franchises, to us they're football clubs, to the American ownership models they're franchises. And read between the lines. Todd Boehly and one of these people do not like losing money. They don't come into football. This £35 million a year that you're allowed to lose every single year in owning a football club is not something they're interested in.
Okay. Well, we know Ratcliffe came in late on Friday. He might not be out of it yet, because this morning we understand insiders with knowledge of the process still believe there are a variety of significant hurdles, unquote, to overcome. We'll see. Monday morning, we're live on talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.